So I just heard Andrew Huberman say this.
And it turns out that if you want to remember something, you want to spike adrenaline after you acquired that information.
And if you don't know who Andrew Huberman is, he is the #1 health and science podcast in the world. So I thought, let's try it out. And a baking. Whoa! Wow. Now, if you think about it, it actually kind of makes sense, right? What actually boosts adrenaline? Well, it's usually things that happen to you incredibly suddenly. So that's either a car crash, when you get scared, when you're being chased by a grizzly bear, things like that. Things that are really, really sudden and there's high stakes attached. So you're either going to die or you're going to get grossly injured. And it makes sense that we want to learn the lessons that just preceded that event happening so we can avoid it in the future. So without even looking sort of at the science behind it, it seems that this hypothesis could work. But how are we going to test this? So step number 1 is we are going to need some sort of memory test. Okay, so I have devised a pretty simple memory test. I've completely made it up myself because after about an hour of searching online, there wasn't really anything that I could find that I could do quickly on a notepad and then be able to be in a position where I can spike my adrenaline very fast. So what I've come up with is a very simple number sequence memorization. Right, so take a look. So I first use this random number generator that generates 4 numbers between the range of 1 and 9. And why did I choose 14? Because the average person can only hold 7 digits in their memory. So double seems just about right. Then I generate the 14 numbers. I have 30 seconds to write them down and memorize them. I then close the book and spend 4 minutes. I can think of the numbers over and over in my head. I just can't look at them. And then after 4 minutes, I've got to try and write them out in the same order. So let's do one for example. Okay, I am going to hit generate and then we're going to start the clock. And here we go. So the 4 minutes up, let's see if I can remember any of those numbers. Okay, so I remember the first one was 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, 3. I don't know, I think there was a 5 here somewhere, let's put that there. And I know the last two were 8, 8. I know this one was an 8, this was either a 3 or a 2. What was this? I'm gonna go with a 2. So in this example, I actually got 10 correct. I got the first one, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, 3, completely correct. And then the last 4 also correct. The 5 was completely out of place. So now we need a way to actually score this because we need a figure. And I don't want to just use 1 point for every correct place because I want to have some sort of variation and not have it every time be the same. So what I'm going to do for every digit that is in place, I'm going to get 10 points. And then for every digit that isn't exactly in place but is just one place out, I'm going to give myself 5 points. And then if it's 2 places out, I'm going to give 1 point. So that way we're going to have a total score out of 140. Now the thing is with any memorization tasks, the more you do it, the better you get. So I don't want to use this score as my average without adrenaline and then go away and do my adrenaline now because it could be that I get better. And everything we know about learning curves is that you start, you're not that great, and it's a sort of logarithmic curve. So the first few times you do it, you actually get really, really good, and then it starts tapering off the more and more you do it. So I'm just going to hammer away and try and get an average. And I'm going to take the average when I'm not increasing the score by much at all. Okay, so I've done that a few more times, and here are the scores. So on the first one, I got 100, then I got 90, then I got 81, and then I got 105. So that's an average of 94. And what I found is that I can pretty much remember the first 7, and I can keep repeating the first 7 in my head, and then I can kind of remember the last 2 or what they kind of look like, and then a few sort of numbers if there's a lot of them in between, and I sort of just can guess. So that's where I sort of got the 1, and I can get a few 5 points here and there. It doesn't seem to be improving drastically, or it doesn't seem that I'm going to be able to remember more than sort of 7 in a complete order. So adrenaline, also known as epinephrine, is a hormone and a neurotransmitter that plays a key response in our body's fight or flight response. So adrenaline is basically released when you are in a very stressful or a dangerous situation. So how can we actually replicate this at home? Obviously, I don't want to be getting into car accidents just to try this, or jumping into the bear enclosure at the zoo. So there are a number of ways that you can spike your adrenaline very quickly. So 1 is doing some heavy exercise, 2 is breathing, breath work such as the Wim Hof method, and number 3 is cold water. So we're going to do 2 of these. We're going to do the Wim Hof and we're going to do cold water, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to try and memorize for 30 seconds, then immediately try and spike our adrenaline, so pouring a bucket of cold water over the head, or undoing the exercise, waiting for 4 minutes, and then trying to remember it. And let's see if there's any improvement in my memorization abilities. Okay, so we're in my bathroom right now. I've got the book. I've written down a bunch of numbers in there, so I'm not going to pre-memorize anything, because I want to pretty much memorize this, put this down, and get right into the bath. And then, if you come with me, we've got really cold water with ice in it. Sadly, for some reason, I don't have a bucket, so I'm using my rice cooker container and a baking bowl. But that should be enough to get me nice and... Oh! Okay, and now for the second method, we're going to do something called Wim Hof breathing. So Wim Hof, this guy also known as the Iceman, who has broken many world records withstanding cold and doing a lot of temperature-related world record setting, has come up with this method to completely spike adrenaline so you can go through really tough situations and be okay. Adrenaline is sort of a pain suppressant. So with this method, what we do is we do 30 big breaths in and out very quickly, like such, in a way sort of hyperventilating. Basically, the idea is to get all of the carbon dioxide out of our body. And then we're going to do 1 big breath in, 1 big breath out, and we're going to hold it for about 1.5 minutes. So this way you're actually able to hold your breath a lot longer, because it's not the lack of oxygen that makes you want to breathe, it's actually the increase in carbon dioxide that makes you want to breathe. So this is actually a little bit dangerous in the sense that you can pass out from this, because your breathing reflex isn't going to kick in when it should, so you can actually get to really, really low levels of oxygen. So don't do this in a bath or in water. You can become unconscious and drown, and we don't want any of that. But the good thing is, because we get the oxygen so low, it actually mimics drowning, which is going to send our body into shock, pumping that adrenaline up, and hopefully our memory too. So let's give it a shot. Okay, so we're all set. We've got the notebook. I've got my phone on a stopwatch. We're going to do 30 seconds. We're going to do 1 minute 30 seconds of the breathing, and then that is going to eat into the 4-minute time. Okay, let's begin. Okay, and let's go for it. So 5, 3, 4, 6, 5, 4. 7, 6, 1. I know that this is 8, 7, 3, 4. This, let's put an 8. Okay. Okay, and the results are in. So for the ice test, we got a score of 105. And surprisingly enough, for the breathing, we also got a score of 105. And yes, this is greater than the average score of 95. But actually for the last 3, I've got 105. So for the last one I did with no adrenaline, I got 105 too. Maybe I'm just hitting sort of my memory capacity at this point. There's no clear definition that this adrenaline is helping me remember. But I think I might know why. And this is because I'm testing my short-term memory. And I'm testing my short-term memory and then not using my memory in those 4 minutes at all. So I'm able just to repeat the numbers over and over and over and over and over again. So the adrenaline actually isn't helping. I mean, when you think about it, what it should be used for is actually long-term memory, storing really, really critical bits of information for the rest of your life so you never repeat them, right? So now testing long-term memory is definitely a lot harder than testing short-term memory. But I think I might have a way around this. I'm actually just going to do the ice bath because I think it does deliver a faster amount of adrenaline straight away. The breathing takes like a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and memorize a number for 1 minute. I'm going to give myself a bit more time. And then I'm going to come to my laptop here and I'm going to play 30 minutes of chess. So this way I can't actually just think of the number over and over in my head. It's going to have to be written to some sort of long-term memory for me to memorize it. And for both, I expect to get a much lower score than 100, probably in the 30s, 40s, 50s. But I want to see if there's a drastic difference between no adrenaline and adrenaline. Okay, so I'm really not that hopeful for this run. This is the dry run without the adrenaline, and I'm going to give myself 1 minute to memorize, and then you guys can watch how great I am at chess. So let's go. Okay, chess time. I am a juicy 773 rated player. Let's see what I can bring to the board today. Can we break 800? Okay, we're going to start with the London. So that actually gives us a score of 100. Surprisingly good memory here for 30 minutes, not actually trying to memorize it. So now let's do the ice version and let's see if we can improve on this any. And my GoPro was on picture mode, so it just took a single picture instead of recording me throwing another bucket of ice over my head. So you can just watch me doing it again for the first time. And now for 30 minutes of chess. Okay, let's see if our luck continues. 30 minutes on the clock, let's go. Wow. So the final verdict is in, and I got a score of 120. So that is 20 points above from what I got when I didn't use the adrenaline method, which I think is definitely a big improvement. It is the highest score so far. Now, is this definitive proof that if you spike adrenaline that you remember things better? Well, it's not, because this last one, although it's my highest score, it's also the last one I've done, so I've actually had a lot of practice at doing this. So it could be the fact that I'm just better. However, this number actually was a little bit trickier to memorize than the previous number, especially when you have double digits and some nice sequences. It can be a little bit easier than when some of the numbers are spread out a little bit more. But even if it didn't help, cold water exposure is good for you. So give this a try at home and let me know how you guys fare. So Future Mike here, and this is actually the next day, and I was just sitting down to start editing the video, and I thought to myself, well, if I'm testing long-term memory, could I remember the number that I did yesterday? So I tried to write it from memory, and take a look at that score. 95, which is a little bit lower than the 120. I got a few wrong and I couldn't quite remember the middle, but I very easily managed to remember most of the start and the end. And I am completely unable to remember any of the other numbers from yesterday. Now, of course, this could just be because it was the last number that I tried to remember, but